buddy. Something's wrong with our worm, Earl.
What's up, guys? Today ain't starting out like we wanted it to. I'll show you why in just a second. Yeah, we were on a job yesterday and I made the mistake of not locking the emergency brake on the 400. Well, when I did, it cut off and it ain't cranked back up since, and I'll show you why. Here's the ignition switch. Listen. Now, at first, I thought, oh Lord, the motor has locked up, because it does have nearly 1,600 hours on it, but it shouldn't have been, and it wasn't. I traced down the problem. I checked the battery. The battery's got more than enough juice in it. And I took a sharp screwdriver that I've modified to be a certain type of tool, and I spun the motor over because it's got that cage around the fan. And I spun it over by hand, and it seems to be fine. So, trace down the problem, it's the starter. Now, I cannot complain because it's the original starter. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Y'all stay tuned.
Like my new hat? Okay, the humidity is kind of high, so the camera's going to be a little blurry. Sorry, guys.
It's very humid out here.
It feels like you're walking through Atlantis.
But anyway, when we discovered that problem, we went by the dealership that's close to us, and I talked to them about whether or not they had Kawasaki parts. Well, they did, and this is a genuine Kawasaki engine starter. It's not an aftermarket. They don't even carry aftermarket, and the reason why is because aftermarket electrical parts only carry anywhere from a 30 to a 90-day warranty. Well, when you're talking about cranking mowers up as many times a day as these things get cranked up, 90 days is not gonna, that starter's not gonna last. But anyway, the starter that's on it is the original starter from the factory, and it's lasted 5 years, so I can't complain. But anyway, I will find the part number to this starter if you have a machine, whether it be a Gravely, X-Smart, whatever, with a Kawasaki FX 850V. And if you do, you can use that part number to buy this starter. But anyway, I will also leave the number for the engine in the description below also. All right, guys, what we got to do, we got to cut this bag off and do some preliminary checking to make sure that this is the starter. Yep.
Y'all forgive my camera work. I'm still tired.
Oh, there's the part number right there. It's on. It's on the starter. It's a D-E-N-S-O. I guess that's Denso.
Let me see.
But that's the number right there, guys.
Yeah, Denso. T21163-0754 in case for those of you that can't read.
And I will take a picture of this.
I probably just offended half of YouTube.
Well, and I will put this number in the description below. So if you need a starter like this, you'll have the number. You can just call your dealer and give them that number, and they can get you the starter.
As you can see, most of the time spent is trying to find the right socket.
Right wrenches. All right, guys. First thing you need to do is take your ground cable off of your battery. That breaks the circuit to the starter, so you don't get any arcs.
Otherwise, you'll end up like Nitro in a down Periscope.
Yeah. It's an 11mm or 7/16, either one. So you take it loose. Set this somewhere. You're gonna get lost, fall, and get trapped.
Don't trap yourself.
Oh, the ignition switch is on.
Hey, give me here. I can throw it in the cup holder.
No. Rule of thumb, guys: put your bolt back in, put your washer back on and put the nut back on it so you don't lose it. That way you know that bolt is the one that was in it, in the battery when you took it off. See, I just taught Nate something he didn't know. And hopefully I'm teaching you too.
Right.
You don't have to tighten it up, just get it snug where you can take it loose with your fingers. Now, what we've got to do now, we've got to find the tools that we need to take the wiring loose off the bottom of the solenoid, and then take the starter loose, and then we'll put the new one on. So you guys, you stick around.
Oh, that's the starter.
Yeah, right there.
I thought the starter was under there, so
No.
I had the camera aimed at the wrong thing.
No, this is your ignition switch.
My apologies.
Put the camera down here.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's a gentleman?
Not us.
Okay, so you'll know, and they'll know, the way a system works. You got the power coming from the battery. It goes to the starter via this red wire right here. And then there's another wire that carries, that blue wire carries current back to the ignition switch. And then you've got wires on the ignition switch that go back to the starter on the solenoid to engage it. When you turn the power on, that turns the power on. And then when you hit the ignition switch to the start position, the current engages the solenoid, and the solenoid, where's that starter at? I just had it.
Here.
Okay, let me have that starter so I can show them and you.
Heavier than it looks.
Oh yeah, this is your starter solenoid. This thing,
lower. There you go.
this is the starter solenoid. What it does, it's got a little arm in there, and it when you hit the key like that to start it, it kicks that thing right there that's called a bendix. Can you see it?
Yeah, the gear.
The little gear. That arm comes up and kicks it, and then at the simultaneously the starter starts spinning, and that's what turns the motor over.
Gotcha.
So, and then once the compression hits, the spark and the gas work together to crank the engine. And then once it's running, you let the key go, this goes back down, disengages, and you don't need it until you have to crank it back up.
I got
So, there you go. All right, guys, I'm down here on the trailer floor. It's wet trailer. And if you can see this red boot right here, that is the battery cable that goes to the starter. There's a boot on it, and what you have to do, you have to feed it off. My Lord. They're working on cutting a tree down across the way over there, guys. And you
cutting 2 trees down.
You have to pull that boot down to get it clear of that bolt. And then you have to hopefully take a pair of pliers, and understand you've cut the current to the starter, so you shouldn't have any arcs.
Yeah. Noah has all the arcs with him.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, the way as wet as it is, we might need an arc. I'll put pontoons in these things. All right, it's not quite clear yet.
And paddles on the wheels.
Guys, this stuff right here is what takes the time.
That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Putting pontoons on the mower.
Yeah, there's all kinds of memes going around about doing that.
And paddles on the wheels. That would be hilarious.
All right, now.
That's something Farm Trucking Asian.
Full of dirt.
That's something Farm Trucking Asian from Street Outlaws would do.
Yeah. All right, guys, I got the nut off, and I'm trying to work the wiring off. But I will say this. There it goes. I got the plug unplugged, the blue wire. I got the current and the starter wire off the solenoid. I will say this. It's a 12 millimeter nut, and I'll show you the nut here in just a second. Let me get up from here and show it to you. Make sure I'm in the shot here. That's the nut right there. And the area in there is so tight. I don't know if you can really see down in there. But the area in there is so tight that you can only turn about a quarter of a turn and get this thing off. And it is when it's caked up with dust and dirt, that makes for a long process. But anyway, we got it done, so we're gonna move on. I did the bottom, now Nate's gonna do the top. The two top bolts are 13 millimeters, so he's gonna take them out. Now, when you get them loose, run them out good. You can turn it further than that. Yeah, I'd put it on this side where you can get a better, there you go. Don't run them completely out. Don't just, hold on. Yeah, now take this one loose. It's tight. Did it pop loose? Hold it. It may not. That may be. Hold on. That's a different size. Get that off.
What
there.
are the odds?
All right, guys. I made a boo boo. It is not a 13 millimeter. It is a 12 millimeter. There you go. Now, again, you got a bracket there with a wire. I mean, you got a top bracket there holding this thing on.
Dirty Turkish Archibald Flatten, Fortin, Philip Bucket Barton, Perkaluma Burton, Durden, Bush, Latin, Martin, and I.
Yeah, that starter's already moving.
Okay.
All right, now.
Now there's one more back here, right?
No. There's only 2 bolts that holds the starter on. See if
Well, but that's a wire. This. Well,
which one did you take loose?
this one.
No, you're supposed to take that one loose. Tighten that back up.
Oh.
That's why the starter
Well,
ain't
give me
loose.
the 13 again.
No, it should be a 12.
I had a 13 for that one. And
I know, and it was the wrong size. See if that one.
No, that's a
worked
different
first.
size because that's a different kind of bolt. See, that won't even go down on there.
Oh dear Lord.
I'll go ahead and undo this one while
I don't even know what I did with the 13. Right here. You turn it back around. No. Hold on. There you go.
Oh.
It's gonna be tight. Do you need some leverage? Hold on. Just hold what you got. Now, hold the center like you were. Put this pipe on it and pull it. Pull it out here. There you go. Now.
Cord.
It is recording.
Oh. So I said no.
Guys, Nate loosened up the wrong bolt.
Okay, give me the 13 again.
I thought I handed it to you.
Is that it, brother?
Yeah, you're gonna need that adapter.
Yeah, I got it.
Son, keep your tools with you. Don't go away with them. Just lay them somewhere where you can get your hands on them real easy.
Tighten this one back up.
Yeah, tighten the one without. Well, you should be able to. Once was a I don't know the words.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy of Sea. The wind blew hard, her bowed it down. It just got real tight.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do. All right, that should smooth move X-lax. Oh gosh! All right.
Uh-oh.
It fell down on the pan down there. All right, guys. When we get this starter off, we'll come back. All right, guys, we got it loose. I had to use a persuader to get it, but we got it. You might need to slip it out that hole, Nate.
Yeah.
No, through the bottom. Oh, you got it through there? All right. There's the old starter right there. Get up. Let me get it in the shot here. There it is right there, guys.
That's the right one.
All right. Like I said, I had to use a little bit of persuasion. I had to use Big Bertha here and a claw hammer And I'm telling you
They got
this.
the tree.
I'm telling you this in the event you have to do this. Watch your hand, Nate. I had to put it not there. I had to put it right there and tap on it to get it to spin. And once it spun, it dropped right down. So,
Ma, crow buys up.
yep. Anyway, now begins the arduous process of getting a new one put on. Here's the first step. You put it down in the hole. Put it down in the hole.
Back in the cage again.
Yeah, and get it up in there. And
Jaws reference.
I'll get the. Hold on, before we do that, we'll be right back. And guys, what you need to do when you go to put one of these on, you need to get you a good lubricant spray and spray your bolts. The reason why is because that's aluminum, and these bolts are, I guess they're stainless steel. I'm not sure.
Don't want to strip you.
But no, you don't want corrosion. And this is not anti-seize, but these broke loose with no problem, so you shouldn't need anti-seize. So
Yeah, just need a little more strength than
you just put them on there. I'll wipe that excess off later. I ain't worried about that. Now, Nate, if you will feed it through there.
The last one.
No, we'll do that one later.
Oh.
We just want to get the
We
bolts.
probably should have taken a picture of which wires were connected.
I know
to
where.
which bolt.
I know exactly where they go.
All right, good.
I already got that taken care of. All right, if you will, please, Maestro, get it down in there.
I don't go to 6. I go to 3.
Get it through there. Stand it up in the hole, like they said on Jaws. Little mouse goes through the hole, comes back out of the hole. Gotta concentrate, huh?
My knuckles are getting scratched, and you're wanting to talk.
Do you want to do that?
No, I don't. But
Do you want me to do that?
No, because
You need to learn.
that and my hands are smaller than yours, and my fingers are longer.
I can't argue with that. Guys, this is the hardest part right here. Getting that thing fed up through all them wires without getting something in a bind.
Now, here, you start the bolt, I'll hold the thing up. There you go, now you start the bolts. Now, hold on, there's a bracket, and a wire just got to go on that.
Well, the bracket's way down in there.
All right, and it wants to go even further down.
Well, I was about to grab it.
Well, I got it, son, I got it.
No,
All right, where's the wire that went on it?
I don't know. There's 2 wires over here.
There's a black wire.
A black. Okay.
All right, hold on. Well, was there a wire on here? No, there wasn't a wire on this one. There was
There's
not.
2 wires over here.
Okay, there's not. There wasn't a wire on this one.
Okay.
Just put that back down in there. That's it's a keeper bracket for that wiring harness.
Okay.
Now get the thread started.
Well, I need the length because it goes down in that gap. Where's the 12?
I don't know. Just. I don't know, son. I don't know what we did with it.
Well, it's gotta be here somewhere.
You can't start it with your fingers.
No, because it's too far down. What? Here it is. I found it. It's too close up against that.
Take the wrench off. Just start it with the extensions.
Got it.
Hurry up, this is hurting my back. And I do not have back problems.
That makes one of us.
Oh,
wait, I think that bracket's upside down.
No, it's not. It's supposed to be like that. Well, wait a minute.
No, it's supposed to be upright. I remember it was sticking up.
Alright. I may have to turn the starter to get it. Let me get the hose lined up. Hold on. Is it going in? No. It's going in there.
Yep.
Alright, stop. Now, get the
Nice.
Oh, Lord.
Now that one was on you, not me.
yeah, it was. It was.
Who's that
Right
flag now?
Now we got to get the right wires.
I think it's that black one and that blue one.
This black one, no, yeah. Did that thing just fall? Oh, it didn't fall all the way.
It fell, the right side fell.
All right.
Did the blue one go
Now,
on top of the
I
black
think
one?
the blue and this one,
I think that, yeah, those go on the same bolts.
no.
And this final one goes on that, goes there.
Okay.
Or does the blue one go on that big
No,
one?
the blue one goes right there. This one was alone right here.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the ground for the voltage regulator.
Want me to hold this one up and you turn it?
If you can get down there and hold it up, yeah.
Right.
I am, but I get right there and it won't turn. Wiggle that starter, son. Hold on a minute. There we go. Is it going?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's going. It's going slow. And I'm gonna run it all the way down now. We got both wires started, or both bolts.
Yep.
All right, now let me hold this side up.
I'll get the ratchet to tighten.
All right,
That's loose.
righty tighty. Now, if it clicks this time, guys, we got to trace down another problem. You're going to have to tighten that a little tighter, but
Well, I want to strip you one. I'm just getting them.
I understand. Now, tighten that down about 1/8 of a turn. That's good. It ain't got to be super, super, super tight. Now put that other small one in here with the wires, and I'll spray it with the silicone spray out off the trailer so it doesn't get everywhere and nobody fusses at me in the comments. Now I'll connect I'll connect the wires down below because I know exactly where to go. Please don't.
What?
Start singing again.
Apparently, I say my singing's on the mower. According to you.
Guys, while he's tightening that up, I had just done the short that I posted with the Eastbound and Down Jerry Reed song, and I heard something, and he had his music playing in his ears, in his headphones, and he was singing to the top of his lungs.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, you were.
He always
Right.
says I'm singing, but I
You were. Trust me. I ain't never lied to you, and I'm not lying to you now. All right, you got that down and tightened?
as I can get.
All right, let me get a better angle here. Got that bolt installed. Got that bolt installed with the wire. Got this bolt installed with all the wires on it. And then down here, we've got the plug, the blue wire plugged in, and we've got the hot wire from the battery connected to the solenoid and got the boot back on it. So let's get the battery cable put back on and see what we've got. Hope to God this thing doesn't still click and something else be wrong with the motor or with the ignition switch or whatever. Now, a normal mower does not have this wire on here. This is for the green guard chute blocker. So that goes in there. That's your battery cable. Your ground. It goes there. All right, let's tighten it up. Make sure we got a good connection. All right, boys and girls, moment of truth. Is the motor going to crank? I have no idea. Is it going to spin over? I have no idea. But let's see. We got current. Here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. Yeah, buddy. All right. Cut it off. We'll give it another try and see if it does anything different. Power on. I think we got it. All right, guys, we'll conclude this in just a second. Well, we're back where we started. I did not film every single solitary second of this procedure because I didn't think it was necessary. Getting the bolts out, getting the cables loose, all that, that's kind of self-explanatory once you know which ones you have to take loose. But anyway, that's going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. This is Brian with Big South Outdoors TV, reminding you to live big, live southern, and live outdoors. Until the next one, guys, have a good one.